date on my calendar. Probably my next available date that's at least a week out. I have 2 at every party. I set it up by checkout. So I think a lot of us, once we are into a month, we start focusing on the next month. But I keep working on my month that I'm in, which is probably why my sales have been a little bit higher since I've been doing this. So like I did a party on Sunday, which was the 1st, and I booked a party for the 11th. I have another party on Thursday, and I hope to book another party in December. So for me, it's just keep packing people in. I feel like it's better for cancellation rate because people are still really excited. They're in that first, sort of, they're super excited and they start working on it really quickly. So my hot dates, I do mention them when I put my booking game. I mention that I have 2 hot date bags sitting up there. First come, first serve. Whoever wants to take my date. Of course, if someone wants the day before the hot date or the day after the hot date, they sort of bag. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the exact date as long as it's super close. So, okay, good luck. Yeah, whoa, yes,
Okay,
questions?
what do you put in your purse for your hot date?
It's a gift bag. It's usually a stretch bracelet
Okay.
or a pair of ice earrings. A couple times I've had none of those things, so I just throw a Corso necklace in there. It's usually cute, has tissue paper on it. But a lot of times they're not cute because they've been wadded up and down my business bag, and they're just like, whatever, but it works. It always works. It's free something, they don't care. Yes.
Do you give that to them?
So no, you should probably hold on to that. Sarah, what's that called?
Jewelry
Jewelry jail.
What'd you say it was?
It was jewelry jail.
Jail.
So it depends on who it
Yeah,
is.
like that.
I did an event a couple weeks ago, and this adorable lady, she was so sweet. She's a nurse. She booked a party, and it was last week. And I said, take it with you. Like, I knew she was gonna hold her party, so it's really just as a feeling. If I know they're gonna, sometimes I think if they take it, it's a $30 bracelet, they're gonna feel more compelled to hold it because they took my bracelet. So it's really just kind of, however, if you feel like they're gonna run off with it, then that's not gonna happen. Who was the other question? Yes.
How do you tell them about that? What's your verbiage?
So, let's see, when I did the booking game, I did the purses. And so I think I said, so just in case you're thinking of hosting a party, I have a couple hot date bags up here. Anyone who books a party on December 15th or either December 15th or December 11th, then you get my extra little goodie bag for picking my hot date. And that's it.
Do you tell them there's a piece of jewelry?
Yeah. And then,
He
yeah.
used to say he wants to be a hot day or not.
Yeah. I mean, it's not anything that's new. It's just consistent. And honestly, that party, the one I did on Sunday night, I didn't think anyone was gonna book a party. They were really funny and just a little weird. And this lady comes right over and she goes, "I want this." And I'm like, "Well, okay." It was the 11th. No, she didn't care. She just took it. She was
You tell people don't look inside,
yeah, it's in tissue paper. It's in a box. They can't see it. Yeah, they can't see it. Sometimes it's a really nice piece, like the rope tassel. I just like if I have. To me, I give away. Like everyone's always worried about this stuff that's retiring. Who cares? Let it go. Go party for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if it's super expensive, then I would try to obviously cash and carry it or whatever. But all the little earrings and all those little things, put it in a hot tea bag and get bookings for it. It's so much better. So, yeah. Is that everybody?
Laura, did you have a question?
It was answered.
Okay.
So I'm Jody. My last name is Fagnani, not whatever you keep naming.
Two Jodys, I'll say Jody X.
There you go. It's easy.
That's awesome.
Fanyani. I'll get it today, but when I try
So mine, I don't know if it's really a tip, but I kind of force my people to book. If they seem like they're even interested, I tell them, okay, I'm only taking dates for this period of time, and they book. It's crazy. So I had a booking yesterday. I had one on the 6th, one on the 8th, one on the 10th. And against my better judgment, I have one on the 15th. And the other thing I did was I told my people their cutoff was the 15th, not the 19th. Because I don't want all that craziness or any,
Hey, I want the craziness. Just send it my way. I'm
And
teasing.
then,
You always have the craziness.
well,
Hey, I'll
Chris
take it.
just talked
It
about
sells.
but I'm gonna use, my retired pieces for booking in January. So, same kind of concept.
Yeah.
I'm not a Facebook person, I'm on there, it doesn't really work for me. I do way better talking one-on-one to people or calling them. Texting's okay, but I find I do a lot better with calling and one-on-one.
So will you just have a retired Trey and let them pick, or how will you do that?
No, I'm gonna do the same kind of thing, like I need bookings for January, so now in December I'll start putting a piece of retired jewelry
In a bag.
in a bag and wear it in something and dangle it. Yeah, the carrot there, right,
The unknown.
the unknown, everybody likes that, right? You'd book it.
She's already getting it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would.
I've got one. What if you don't have a lot of retired pieces? Could you use something else? Like,
I do use the stretch bracelets, and especially if at the time you're getting 70% off, buy a ton of them. Yeah.
Or could you use like maybe two, I don't know if you have those sparkle pins? You could do that and like a water,
Those are a
$1
couple
water.
bucks.
There's even those little charms that are the crystals, they're $1.
I say sparkling rice and people are excited. It's a bag that has something in it, you know, whether it's jewelry or not. So if you don't have jewelry, use that instead.
I just wanted to add, I play a booking game, and then the hot date is to back to the date I want them to. Does that make sense? I sat down and I was like, okay, I need to make sure, that's not my booking game. I play the first game, or I do the number, depends on the situation I'm in. If it's a restaurant, it's harder to do the first game. But when they come up to me with their, okay, I'm gonna have a party, then I get them to pick my date, not their date. Because their date is June 31st of whatever the month is, like very end, so. Just one hour. Well, yeah, like, something.
All right, I have another quick thought that I wanted to share. I know some of you are doing sales with your retired pieces and selling them, but on that booking note, I just wanted to share that I just sold like some of my really expensive pieces. I sold them at 50% off and did a little sale on Black Friday. But every person that bought that piece, I asked them if they'd like to upgrade and get it for free by hosting a party with me in January, because my December calendar is full. So you would say December if you have December bookings. So I just want to emphasize what the ladies were saying about using your retired pieces to book parties. So, right. Okay. Yes. Okay. Right, okay, and if they don't take me up on the deal, when I go to send my packages out to the people who bought my samples, I put a 70% off coupon in there, and I say, if you host a party with me in January, you can get any item at 70% off from the new line, and they get really excited about them. I write a personal note on the back, so that when I send it to them, and once again, it was like what, I can't remember who said it, maybe Kim, said, it's these ladies I've built a relationship with. I've checked in with them about their jewelry, so keep doing that, because that's what is gonna get people to, when they say yes to you to host a party. So, there's that. That wasn't my tip, so here's my tip, and I'll keep it short and sweet. But, this is our time to book January, so in the next few weeks. So if those tips that everybody just shared, we're booking December. So book those first, of course. You want your calendar. There's too many exciting incentives to earn in December. But don't worry if someone tells you no. Book them in January and get them booked in the first 2 weeks. Tell them, like we were just talking about, just tell them that you have only these select dates. Don't give them anything past the 15th or before. But I start really in the next 2 weeks. I really start working on my January because it's always been my top month. I look back at Memo Touchstone 5 Januaries. It's always my top month of the year, which seems crazy. You think November or something else would be. But it's because it's a new catalog. It's usually a really great special that they launch for our hosts with the new catalog. And that's always been the same, but it's not guaranteed that it'll be the same, but it's something really exciting. And so I start talking to people now because right now, when you ask someone, if I asked you, would you host a party with me after the holidays, doesn't that sound like that's far away and you're going to be relaxed then? But what if I asked you January 1st, would you like to host a party in the next month? You're going to be like, oh, we just had such a busy holiday, blah, blah, blah. So there's excuses always. So in the next 2 weeks, I will be working, if you need to work on your January calendar, or December, do that first, but then start working on your January before Christmas. Maybe if you tell people the 15th, like Jody said, then you can work the 15th to the 19th on what I'm gonna share here. But I send people this message, and I'm gonna post it so you guys have that. Hi, Susan. Wanted to see if you'd be up for a fun girls' night out next month after the holidays. You can do it at your home or a restaurant, so ladies can stop by. You would get free and discounted jewelry, plus everybody's gonna be looking for, that's not what I wrote, but it's a night out of the house for everyone during the winter. We could do wine and bling, sweets and sparkles, plus I'm offering a special gift for you for helping me launch my new spring summer line. What do you think? So I'm asking them for next month, because if we don't start working on it now, especially those first 2 weeks, we want to get those booked. Because January is such a great time. So if your December calendar is full or you can't get someone to book in December, just say, no problem. Would you be willing to help me launch my new line in January? Like, go right to that after you ask them for December, and they say, if they say no, start asking for January and start booking in those dates right away. I also go ahead and send them, like when I get my new catalogs, I'm gonna send it one so they get excited. Ask them to text me their wish list, get them excited about it so that they don't cancel on me when January comes. And I also get out maybe a save the date text so she can start telling her friends, hey, save the date for January 9th, I'm gonna have a girls' night, I'm gonna have a wine night, or whatever it might be. So that it's guaranteeing that you're holding those bookings in January. Okay. Any questions? Okay, good. Oh, yeah, Yvonne does, she hands, anybody who books in January, she gives them mini catalogs to start, like the new ones, the new line, to start handing out to people that they see over the holidays for their part. And on the back it says, you know, I'm having a party on January 9th at 6:30, so you can start handing those out too. Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Well, I definitely agree with what everybody has said already. This will be my 4th January with Touchstone. The first 2 were terrible. I'm a teacher, and so I went into teacher mode. I was on Christmas break. Well, that doesn't work so great, I'll tell you from experience. I came to the training, to the work day in the beginning of January, my first January in 2017, and I'd been on the Zoom call, and I was like, who's going to Mexico? And I was like, I'm going to Mexico, but I have no parties on my calendar. Okay. So I was really ambitious. I was like, I'm doing it. I just don't know how yet. So I came to the work day. I got some inspiration. I got a party on my calendar that led to 4 bookings and 2 sponsors, and I made it to Mexico. So it's doable, but you don't want to put yourself in that situation. So make sure that, like they said, as you're working through December, of course, try to book this month. If you can't, date them for January. Don't just say, oh, cool, I'll call you, I'll call you later. It's hard to get them back, and you want to get that date booked. So go ahead and book your date. Make sure you have your dates now so you know what your open dates are for January. As far as December, and just really any month, I know Christy was saying, like, book in, don't worry about the next month until you're really in about the back half of this month. But don't be afraid to book in those wow parties, so that within 1 week. I like to tell my host that it's literally less work on them if we pick a date that's within about a week. One, people know what they're doing. If you call your girlfriend now and say, hey, what are you doing Friday? Let's go out, let's go to dinner, let's go to a movie, whatever. They usually know what they're doing Friday. They don't need to check their schedule. They can give you a yes or a no. They're gonna respond back quicker. So the same thing for a party. If it's Monday night and you book a party for Friday, you call your friends, they can either come or they can't. That's gonna be no matter what date you pick. And then I tell the host it's less reminding that they have to do, right? They're gonna ask, can they come? If they say yes, you're like, cool, I'll remind you on Thursday, boom, done. So it's not, well, I have to remind them, and I have to do this and that and whatever, and they don't have the excuse of having to clean their house because, one, it's probably clean, it's the holidays, and 2, no problem, we can go to a restaurant, right? Have a few suggestions of places that they can go, because even though we think we know that and they should just assume that, they don't. Most direct sales companies can't go out and set up in a restaurant. I can think of a few that'd be really kind of scandalous to do that, but you can just go set up out in a restaurant, right? So that's one thing that's really cool that I like to tell people that we can do. Another thing to look at is any sort of like philanthropic things that you can do. If you have a party, if somebody's maybe talking about collecting, I don't know, toys for tots, or they're, like I'm working with a group right now that's Night to Shine. So it's the prom for students with disabilities, special, yeah. And they get to come and do that. So I've been doing some different things with them, fundraisers. So if you can work that in to something, people feel good about coming to that. One, it's a girls' night, right? But then they're also giving, being able to give back, which is something people generally like to do, especially this time of the holidays, right? So if you can do something if you could do something to help give back at the same time, then that might be a way to get somebody to book who maybe wouldn't normally book at this time. It might get some other people to come to the party who might not normally come. And you never know, once people lay eyes on the jewelry, people that say, I never wore jewelry, or I didn't even plan to come tonight, sometimes are the people that sign up and are your best consultants. Yeah.
I just wanted to share real quick one thing we're kind of focusing on is a last chance first glance, and we're talking about, we have several of them planned between Christmas and New Year's, because the way Christmas falls, it's actually a great time because you've got that Sunday and Monday, the 27th and the 28th, that people are going to be pretty much done with Christmas. They have their Christmas festivities on the 25th, the 26th if they needed to do something then, the 27th. You're talking about plenty of time between New Year's. And so it might be some extra perks involved. I'm not going to go into too much details, but it would be very helpful to you if you had something, maybe team up. We're teaming up with several of our girls and our other leaders with our teams to do maybe like something simple like a Diva Dice. A Diva Dice is if you have a pair of dice and a phone with music on it, all it is basically everybody brings a gift, and it can be like a lottery ticket with a sparkly pin in it, or it can be like a birthstone bracelet, and you play around the music, and somebody turns their back and stops it. And whoever has doubles and has that gift in their hand, then they win the prize. So you don't need anything fancy or anything to do that particular event, you know. So you can gather a couple consultants that you know and do a last chance first glance and have some fun giveaways, but it also you can host because it'll be the new catalog, and you can even get maybe a couple of hostesses. And a lot of times people are done with their family. You know, they're ready to catch up with their friends. And I mean, I'm right there. I'm already ready with them. I just spent Thanksgiving with them. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. Look at her. She's like, just say it again at me. So anyways, it's just one of those things that you've got to think about now, because it is, like Sarah and them had said, I don't want to do anything now, but I do something after the holidays. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm putting a fun event together. You're not going to have to cook. You're not going to have to clean. You get to just show up, and if you want to invite some friends, that would be fantastic. We're going to just do something fun, and it's just a great way to kickstart you even more into January. And like I said, there could be some great incentives to be doing that to make sure you get it in before the end of the month. No pun intended. Smile a little bit bigger.
Can you explain your dice game again, how you did?
The Diva Dice?
Yeah, the dice.
Basically all it is let's say there's 6 people on a table, you put the gift in the middle of the table, you have your music turned on, and they're rolling, and while the music is playing, it's kind of like musical chairs, and whoever rolls a double, they get to hold the gift. They don't need to roll.
Okay.
And then when somebody else rolls a double, they snatch that gift and they get to hold it
It just keeps going around the table.
until the music stops, until somebody, you know, whoever has it. We did it at our little Friendsgiving the other night, and there's some competitive people up there.